Hi, I'm Tommy from Los Angeles, and this is my watch story for HODINKEE. So like some of you guys, I imagine, my watch story starts with my dad. My dad was a pretty frugal and humble guy. His only splurge was in cameras, and he had a slight interest in watches and cars as well. He had a few watches, a Seiko, a Datejust 1601, and an Omega Speedmaster. His Seiko was usually his everyday watch. His Speedmaster was usually reserved for weekend duty, and the Datejust spent most of his life locked away in a bank safe, except for some very special occasions. As a kid, I remember sitting in my parents' bedroom playing with his Speedmaster for hours on end, starting, stopping, and resetting the chronograph over and over again, like I'm doing right now with my own Speedmaster. All I knew from my dad was that it's the same watch that Neil Armstrong and the NASA astronauts wore to the moon, and it was just about the coolest freaking thing that I had seen in all my years. And at the time, I was just only 4 or 5 years old, as I remember. And I literally took that in the literal sense. I literally thought that the watch that I had before me that I kept playing with for hours was the same exact watch that Buzz Aldrin wore on that now famous photo that was taken on the moon in 1969. I wasn't sure what model Speedmaster my dad had. Wasn't sure it was the one of the pre-moons or a later model, but again, just one of the coolest things that I had ever seen, and it was really the one that got me down this rabbit hole into watch wonderland. Unfortunately, my dad sold that watch long ago. My dad purchased his Datejust in Hong Kong along with an Omega DeVille Safette in the early 1970s as wedding gifts for my mom and himself. So when I got married many years later, my mom gifted her Omega to my wife as a wedding gift. After my dad passed away, I figured that his Datejust was just simply lost or sold at some point. We had no idea where it was. It wasn't in the bank safe. And a couple years ago, I was going through some boxes of some of his old stuff in a storage unit in Miami, and I found the freaking watch. This watch. Just found it. I mean, just thinking about it right now gives me goosebumps, and I was just floored and so excited. I was speechless. I called my wife over and couldn't even speak. I was mumbling and stuttering, and words didn't come out of my mouth. But now both of these watches are reunited once again. So these two watches, along with my very own 1974 Speedmaster, which is my birth year watch and something that reminds me of my dad's Speedmaster, will always have special places in my watch collection.